Yes, everybody, we are back from Junior Finals Day and Senior Semi-Finals Day, Day 4 of the IMMAF 2019 World MMA Championships. Dre, it's been a good day.
Absolutely, an incredible day of action here for the junior finals. You know, nowadays we get spoilt twice because we got the juniors and the seniors, and we're seeing the best amateur action in the planet.
Who's stood out for you today in the juniors? Need I really ask?
No, there's no point really asking, because the answer, of course, is Mokaev. Gets his second world championship, his third championship in the last year. So, absolutely incredible, Steve. What do you think of his performance against Rio?
I thought it's probably the most dominant performance that we've seen in the juniors, because there's one that we've just had here 5 minutes ago in the seniors, which might eclipse that. But in terms of a fight that didn't go to the finish, he did everything but the finish. He was completely dominating. He looked to strike with him a little bit, but then he was like, do you know what? Let's just take this medal home. So Mohamed Mokaev, two-time world champion. I spoke to him after the fight. Let's see what he had to say for himself. Right then, we have a two-time world champion, Mohamed Mokaev. About 2 months ago, he told me he was going to be a two-time world champion. And he does sound better than a one-time world champion. How do you think the fight went? Because you've obviously had a very difficult week this week, a little bit of adversity to overcome. For me, that was the easiest fight that we've seen so far in the finals.
Yes, I think I just woke up in the final fight for the team. Maybe I when guys was resting, I was running. Before fighting, I was running because gets me ready to fight. But for Monday, I was ready to fight because I came to watch the morning. I was ready to hold down when I was picking him up. Islam back on the field. Like the second round was like don't speak to me, don't see me as a after the move, this
I think the first fight it's hard being he knows he's the best guy in the world. It's these guys who need to beat him. They're all going to say to come out here to the tournament to beat one guy. He's wrong. So what we've seen really is 70% off. Just warming up. You know, Kazakhstan really couldn't fly out back around. Today I felt I knew that when I played today, he was going to express himself. Just some of the flavour, maybe it's the Italian band, kind of bringing on support, I just found it give me everything, you know, like life changed. I represent him, my friend.
kids over my mates who watch me very good. So I stay one more year in the champion.
Is that going to be junior amateur or are you going to win the seniors?
I think Asian, Pan American, and African slowly step to senior, then stay like junior Europeans and junior worlds, maybe both senior. I don't know. We're gonna work out with coaches. I'm ready for it. Hey, I beat guys from freeze in championship seniors last year. It's no problem. I think if you stay at 26, it's still amateur. Your confidence not there, like my confidence there. So I smash these guys more than juniors. Juniors are tougher than senior.
But I'm going to say, congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Tino.
It's brilliant. I would like to thank Oleg, my coaches here. Shout out to Nigel, the ex-UK president. This guy before last year, very good. Italian last year. I was a very good team. Very good team. Like Tiger in Thailand, it's very, very good. They have to prepare me. I see the good party when they get in the cage. I see the eye.
Dre, I really enjoyed that fight.
You know, what really stood out for me in this performance, I think arguably the other fights that Mohamed Mokaev has had here in Bahrain this year were harder than the Ryo Yamaguchi fight today because he seemed to be toying with him out there. He seemed to be playing with him. When the crowd, they started to cheer for Rio, what does Mo do? He hits a suplex. He takes him down.
And
it
then
was
mugs
crazy.
the crowd off. He was at one point holding him down and staring at the crowd like, what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
That was impressive.
No, seriously. Now, I will go out on a limb and say, you know, I've been with IMMAF. I've been covering IMMAF since 2015, and this is genuinely the first time where the crowd reacts and kind of inputs themselves into a fight. When Mohamed Mokaev fights, they want to be a part of the action. They want to cheer him on. They want him to do those fantastic Mokaev specials that we know that he can do. And he's engaging with the crowd while he's in there. It just shows. It doesn't matter. Does not matter who is in the cage with him. Mohamed Mokaev, he's too good. He's too slick, and he can do multiple things at the same time.
And so many people expected him to go professional after this, but as he just said in that clip there, he is going to stay as amateur, and I believe that's probably going to be maybe another year in the juniors, and hopefully we're going to see him develop those skills. We might even get to see him start knocking people out. That's what his coach is looking to see.
Well, I'll tell you what I want to see. I want to see Mohamed Mokaev moving up to the senior division. We know right now there is absolutely no question Mohamed Mokaev, the number one junior on the face of this earth. Let's see if he can carry that dominance on to the senior divisions. I think he can, Stephen.
I am certain he can. I am absolutely certain. And speaking of domination, can I just get a shout out for Michelle Montague there in the female lightweight senior semi-final for New Zealand, who put on an absolute clinic. Yeah. She looked amazing, and the fight lasted, was it 23 seconds?
Yeah, if that. I mean, the minute I first saw Michelle this week, when she walked into the registration room, you have to stand back. She's a lightweight. She is
I don't think she's a lightweight. I have no idea how she makes lightweight.
Yeah, she's a well-built girl, and she is strong as hell, as we saw in there today.
She is jacked. I mean this with all respect. She is jacked. I have no idea how you're making 155.
It's crazy.
If I was guessing, I'd be like, a welterweight, maybe?
Yeah.
She's huge.
She's got the frame right there.
Beast. So I'm looking forward to seeing her in Saturday's finals, which also means that we get to see a hacker on Saturday, which is always a treat.
Absolutely. You know, I remember Las Vegas when I first saw the IMMAF hacker, and it makes you sit back for a minute because the energy, we've seen it in rugby, but once you put it in a little arena setting, it's another thing.
Before
the voices
an
travel.
Fight as
well. Hype as hell.
We also saw Tayush in one of our fights to watch yesterday go in there and put on another clinic. How good was that?
Yeah, I was right cage side against the Mexican opponent, and at one point she gets her with a head kick, drops her, Tertian, and she doesn't get the finish, but it was a complete control from her throughout the fight, never looked in trouble, constantly pressuring, constantly attacking, and no offense to
how exciting is she as a fighter? She's so well-rounded and she's so good in all aspects of fighting that she can finish you standing, and she tries, and she can finish you on the ground, and she tries, and she tries to finish with submissions. She's always looking for the finish. Now, she's not quite getting it, but she's advancing, and she is in the final.
Well, the biggest thing that I took away from that fight is her opponent at one point had her back. So Tertian laid out on the floor, but the Mexican opponent, her hands were underneath Tertian.
That was first round as well,
the first round, and Tertian's strength just held onto it. Held on. She could not get loose, and the referee had to stand them back up again. Like, come on, Steve. Like, that kind of strength, it just shows the power that she's got and the potential she has as well.
I said yesterday, if you're an MMA organisation, you're not thinking of signing her, you are just wrong. Plain and simple, just wrong. She is a superstar in the making. I don't know what her English is like. It shouldn't matter. She's outrageously good, and someone needs to sign her today.
Yeah, well, let's see if she takes that gold in Saturday's final, then potentially someone could come knocking.
If on this, I'd be putting money on it. Simple as that. Right, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again on Saturday following the senior finals, where we will have a whole raft of new amateur world champions. See you then.